Hey guys, it's Champ. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you're back again, I'm glad to see you. Today's video is all about shedding. And this is actually a really great topic because not too long ago, about a year ago, I actually was losing so much hair and I got super freaked out, went to a doctor and whatnot. And it turns out that was a good thing because the hair that I was losing was not healthy. It was not shedding. It was actually breakage. So today's video is all about shedding and the difference from breakage and what I do to prevent it. So without further ado, let's get started. So just to define shedding, shedding is when the hair follicle falls out naturally from the root of your hair. So a really good way to tell the difference between shedding and breakage is when I see shedding the most, being a curly haired person, our hair doesn't fall out as much as someone whose hair is straight due to the fact that we don't wash it as much. And it's just curly, so it gets like kind of tangled together and it just doesn't fall out. But anyways, a good way to tell the difference is when I see mine in the shower, and I actually put all of my hair up on the wall of my shower. That's how I stop it from going in the drain, because if you have curly hair, you know that it blocks the drain up. And so that's another reason that started to scare me. I was like, well, am I really losing this much hair like when I cleaned out my drain? But anyways, the way to tell the difference is, at least for me, when I see some shedding, it's a long strand. Okay. Now, if I look down in my tub and I see like little short strands, that's breakage. And that is what you want to avoid. The average person can lose anywhere from 50 to 100 strands a day, and some people even 150. But if you're losing more than that, then maybe you should see a doctor like I did, and you can pinpoint exactly why you're losing that hair. So beauties, I don't know if you knew this or not, but hair loss is actually seasonal. You lose less in the summer and more in the fall and winter months. And this can be due to a lot of things. Childbirth can cause hair loss, stress, surgeries, sickness. And those are some reasons, that you might want to see a doctor. Another way to know if you should see a doctor, or to know if you're having hair loss versus just shedding, is when, maybe you're losing a certain amount of hair in a certain spot. You might find an actual bald patch, or the hair might not grow back as thick and it just starts thinning. That's how you know that you're having breakage and hair loss. And that is another thing that should be a sign to go to your doctor. Now, how about you guys follow me to the bathroom so you guys can see how much shedding I actually had during my last wash day. All the hair that you see on the wall is what I lost. And I think I've actually gotten it down quite a lot since before. So let's go take a look. All right, guys, follow me this way to the bathroom so we can see all of the shedding that I had from my last wash day. So this is actually the shedding. If we want to take a close look, as you can tell, this is obviously shedding because of how long it is. This obviously fell out from the root, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, so this is all of my shedding. If you can see it in my hands. Yeah, and I think if you look really closely, there's one breakage. If you can see that little itty bitty hair. I don't know if you can even see that. If not, oh well. But yeah, this is my shedding. All right, guys, this is all of the hair that you guys saw in the bathroom. I don't know how much you can see it, but this is my shedding, and I am so proud of this, how small this is, but I will just set it here for now since that is what we're talking about. But now let's talk about prevention. How do you prevent shedding? So first, you can always make sure that you're getting enough protein and iron, making sure that you are washing your scalp on a regular basis and getting off all of, the buildup and stuff that causes dandruff. Because if you don't wash and exfoliate your scalp, your hair can't grow after it has shedded, and then therefore you're getting a bald patch or thinning hair, and we don't want that. So make sure you're washing your scalp. Make sure that when you are putting your hair in braids or an updo, you're not pulling too hard. because that a lot of times causes breakage. And then we have, you know, those short hairs around our edges. Some of you, I'm about to set some of you ladies out. Some of y'all put your hair way too tight, because when you brush your baby hairs down, your baby hairs are about as long as my hand, and honey, we know those are not baby hairs or edges. That's broken off hair. That's breakage, and you trying to pass it off. But anyways, I'm gonna let y'all live and do you. Make sure that you're getting enough vitamin B and calcium, and that will actually make your hair grow quicker. So once again, once it's shedded, it will come out better and faster, and we won't see those bald spots or thinning patches for a while. That's what we want to avoid. Now, a couple things that I do that help me, like those are just general tips that kind of everybody knows, but some things that I do to stop my shedding. Number one, okay? I try to have my hair dry as untangled as possible, okay? So that means like not moving around a whole lot while it's drying, because then it's just matting up, and you know, by the time we brush out all those mats, we didn't rip some hair out and now we got less hair. Another thing is, before you get into the shower, me at least 10 minutes before, if my hair is in an updo, if it's in some braids, whatever it is, I take it out, I put it down in its natural state, okay? Just hanging down, and I wet it down just a little bit with my spray bottle, and I'll put a conditioner in there and let it sit for a couple minutes before I even get in the shower, because number one, that helps with detangling, makes it way easier, way quicker, and you're losing less hair that way. So I always do that. When I do detangle, I always go from the bottom up, and sometimes I'll like, even throughout the day, like if I'm just refreshing my hair, I'll pull down like this, and then I'll pull like apart like that, and always do it from the bottom. I don't do it from the top, because then you're ripping this. But if you do it from down here, that's usually where the mat starts. That's why I always say detangle from the bottom up. Okay, it's the same when refreshing. And when I am detangling in the shower, I always, when it's wet and there's conditioner in my hair, and I usually do it with my fingers, and I'll break out that Denman. If you guys haven't seen some of my other videos, I break out the Denman brush, which is like the only kind of brush I use. I like it better than a wide tooth comb, all the other things. Denman is the best. But if I can't get it out with my hands, I get that Denman brush out and I brush that little spot, and then I go right back to doing it with my fingers, because I feel like with my fingers I can feel the ripping more. I can actually feel the knots versus the Denman or anything else. You're just kind of blindly doing it and going off of sound. So I don't want to go off of sound. I want to know what I'm doing. A couple more things that you can do for shedding is just don't sleep with it too tight. I sleep with my hair completely down and maybe a scarf loosely over it, because even then I don't want to tie the scarf and like tie some of my hair up in it. My hair is everywhere, so it's hard. It gets caught in whatever. So I just like sleep with it down on like a really loose bun. I make sure I'm not pulling on my edges. If you styled your hair in a tight hairstyle, do not wear it to bed. Just don't be lazy and do it again in the morning, okay? Because sometimes I'm a girl who likes to make it last. The hair do gotta last. I do not. You see all of this. I don't want to do it every day. So I make my hairdos last, but if it's too tight, I just don't be lazy and I go ahead and take it down. That's another thing. Don't be lazy when you're brushing your hair. If you don't have time to brush your hair, put it up into a messy bun or a slick bun or something. Don't sit there and brush through it, because if you're in a rush, you're gonna rip. When you rush, you rip. Double R. You should know that. But anyways, that is pretty much it. That is my video on shedding. Comment any tips that you guys have below on what you guys do to stop shedding, or if you have any questions, leave them below and I will do my best to answer. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you all next time.